Hey guys, kinggath here with a quick little video. This is unscripted, and I'm just trying to get some information out quickly. It's also not going to be edited. I don't even have time to get a hold of my editors. I just know that I got to get some information out to you guys because we had obviously the crashing issue on Xbox, which was unacceptable. I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about all the information you guys are looking for and how you're going to get it, and what our plans are for making sure that we get you guys any bug fixes and quality of life stuff you're requesting. So first off, I want to show you guys something, and while I'm doing this, I will say go download hotfix 100A. That will resolve the crashing issue on Xbox and also brings this little feature in that was supposed to be there at launch, but due to some file compression issues, it didn't work, and we discovered that while watching people live stream, to our dismay. But this little guy is supposed to talk during our main quest for just a couple of sequences, not every single time you build a plot. That would be horribly obnoxious. But anyway, I'll back away from there so that he's not distracting us. But anyway, that has been fixed in the hotfix. So Xbox players, be warned that Xbox is notoriously slow. So you might be trying to download version 2, and that's not actually the one that has the hotfix. It's actually version 3. Version 1, when we uploaded it, was just a test file to make sure we had the archive created correctly. Version 2 was the live. Version 3 is this hotfix. So watch in your Xbox when you actually go on into your Xbox to download the update. Look at the top, make sure it says version 3. If it doesn't, wait longer until the Xbox server propagates the updates. Okay, so Xbox issue. I want to talk about why that happened. So Xbox has a hard 1 GB limit on file size. Now, fortunately, our goal on the team had always been to keep the whole mod under a gig, and we even moved a bunch of content over to a special PC only mod during development, knowing this was the case, and we slipped it on in just under a gig. But at the 0 hour, some of our team turned in some audio files, and I was like, oh yeah, that's no problem. I can plug those in. It won't cause any problems, but it pushed us over the 1 gig limit. So then I had to make a call of what to delete. So I went through and tried to delete some obsolete files, and I unfortunately hit a key file. I hit a file that was the opposite of obsolete. It was probably one of the most important files in the mod, and I deleted that with 30 minutes before launch. It was really dumb. I will not be making that mistake ever again. So my apologies to Xbox players who had a bad launch experience. That is fixed in 100A or version 3 in your Xboxes. Now, to make sure that that doesn't happen again, I have set up what I call a PTR for SS2, which is where I will be uploading versions of SS2 that are effectively bug fixes for Xbox. And the way I've done it, all the files are named the same, so it can work with your existing save files. So if I post a PTR version, you could delete the SS2, grab the PTR if you are so inclined to try and test bug fixes as I post them. So I will make posts on the forums whenever I update a PTR. So speaking of the forums, if you guys want to help get your issues fixed, because I'm going to be hotfixing every day if I can, until we get all the showstoppers in the quest and anything crashing the game fixed. So in order to facilitate that, I need help. I need information from you guys. I need people who are willing to test, and I need save files. So all of that stuff is done through the simsettlements.com forums. I do not have the bandwidth to go through all of the Nexus posts, all of the YouTube comments, all of the Twitter responses, Facebook posts. I get slammed with that stuff nonstop every day, all day, even before SS2 launched, and we have gotten thousands of things in the last 24 hours, so I just literally can't keep up with it all. So what we've done to help facilitate that is there's a ton of people on the team who are watching all these locations, and they're relaying the feedback to people on our testing team or testing it themselves, make sure they can duplicate the issue. And then I have a private get for people on my squad to post bugs to me that I should prioritize. So that's the pipeline we have to go through. I just can't physically, I don't have enough time in the day to read all your guys' stuff individually. I like to, and I try to go back and read it in hindsight. And once in a while, you guys will catch me. I'll respond to you on Nexus or on YouTube because it happens to be the comment right below when I happen to be typing, and it just is like, oh, I know how to answer that, and I'll take care of it. But I literally, all my day would be, for weeks, would be responding to things for now, and then you guys wouldn't get any hotfixes out of me. So if you want to get your stuff fixed, please post it on simsettlements.com, and the team will find it, and they will relay those things to me. If you are playing with an ultra tiny load order, if you've got something like under 20 mods, though, I can actually use your save files to fast track fixes. So you can upload those .fos save files. They're in your documents folder under Fallout 4, or I'm sorry, it's under My Documents, Games, Fallout 4 Saves. There should be .fos files. Grab your latest one that you think has the issue, toss it up on Google Drive, share it, and then send a link to me through, or include the link with your bug report on the forums would probably be the best way to do it. Okay, so let's talk hotfix and patching plans. So my plan right now is I'm going to try and hotfix every day until we got all these issues resolved, which should probably take a week or so to get all the quest issues ironed out, because it's really hard during quest testing to account for every crazy thing you guys can throw at it. I mean, like, this is an open sandbox game. You're modding the hell out of it. Anything can go wrong, so it's almost guaranteed you guys are going to find ways to break our quests. But I don't want that to happen. I want to fix those. So the more you guys throw at it, the more I can figure out how to make it a little more tight so that it will go through. And if you are having trouble and you get stuck, a lot of our testing team already know some issues that were occasionally coming up, but not enough that we could replicate them to fix them. And so they will probably have solutions for you, whether it be console commands or like suggestions of where you can stand or something. So there should be ways for you guys to get through the entire main quest. We all on the team went through it on the last day to make sure that, or not the last day, the day before the last day. On the last day, we were all frantically making sure every file was in place. But anyway, we all played through it, made sure that it was playable so that we weren't launching with a quest that was unfinishable. But my plan is to hotfix to get all this stuff worked out, and the only thing that will prevent me from doing it daily is the fact that I have a life outside of the game. I do have a family to take care of. I've got a job, so if those things, or if the hotfix takes more time than all of that life stuff allows me, then the patch will be delayed a day or two, but I'm going to get them out as quickly as I possibly can. This one deals with a few issues. The next one on my list to target is the quest 2, the plotting the future, I believe it's called, or maybe it's laying foundation. I can't remember which one it is. Apologies, I don't know the names of all my quests. But the second quest you get from Stranger, where you're building the agricultural plot. A lot of you guys are running into this. I haven't been able to replicate this one. This is a tough one. This is one where I could use some saves. I did some fixes in the hotfix today that I think might address it, and I posted on Nexus on a sticky some console commands you could do to try and force past that. I will put those in the description as well. So hopefully we can get you guys past quest 2. My God, that was a horrible one to find out you guys were getting stuck on. But after we're done with hotfixes, so once we feel like everything's pretty stable, everybody can play through and enjoy the main quest. Obviously, the main quest is just kind of the appetizer. Like, we've got so much more content in here. There are, I think we shipped with 48, something like that, over 40 discoverable characters, people that you could meet while playing the settlement gameplay. We've got over 120 building plans you can unlock throughout play, so it's designed for a really long playthrough to enjoy outside of our main quest, to do other stuff and build up your settlements or let the settlers build them up or whatever. So tons and tons and tons of content for you guys to get in there and discover. So once you guys are settled through that and into that loop, then you're going to start wanting things like quality of life improvements and bug fixes in those gameplay loops, and that will be me going back to my old school patch schedule. So if you guys have followed my modding career in the Fallout 4 franchise, you guys will know that I have been a crazy patcher. I patch every 2 weeks almost religiously. It's very rare that I don't, unless it's right before something like a release like this where I took a couple months off of patching. I am going to get back to that as soon as we're out of this hotfix phase. And the difference for me between hotfixes and regular patches is really just the amount of testing that goes into them. So with a hotfix, it's literally, I confirm it personally. I have one other person on the team confirm it, and that's it. We fix it, we patch it up and hope for the best, because it's better than having these horrendous issues live in the mod. With normal patching, I spend a week developing quality of life and patches and fixes, send them off to our testing team. They play with them for a week, then we release them to you guys. That is what I prefer. Obviously, the hotfixes are kind of it's a hotfix. It's an emergency situation, so that's what we're doing. So I will get that schedule going again as soon as we're past this hotfix phase. So whenever we determine the last hotfix is, it'll be then the 2-week marker. We'll start from there. So I would expect we'll be past hotfixes after this week. It'll only be a week of people finding, because basically each time I hotfix, people get a little further in the quest when they were stuck, and then they'll find additional little things that we need to hotfix, and we'll get there. But we do have a testing team. We've got more people on the team than we did for SS1. So a lot of people who can help me this time. It's not just the one-man show, because pretty much everything code-wise in SS1 and all its expansions was all on my shoulders, and now there are some more people who are a little more familiar with the code. So hopefully it will make us a little bit snappier with getting fixes to you guys with this new mod, because this has been a secret in development project for literal years alongside the live sim settlements you guys have been playing. So it's a whole different beast. We'll get into that more soon, because there's a couple things coming down the pipes I want to talk about. So first up is I am going to do a live stream soon. I will announce it on Twitter, Facebook, forums, etc. once I have scheduled that, and that'll be one of my typical. I will just literally I'll probably walk people through how to play the mod, not from the quest perspective, but from like like after you were done with the quest. I'll show you guys some stuff, and then I'll answer questions, because I'm sure you guys got a lot of random questions that you're getting irritated waiting for answers for on forums and Nexus, etc. So I will do one of those like I've done for everything else. I will let you know when that's coming up. I will also say that we have a wiki that is largely filled out, but we are having problems with our SSL. Once we get those resolved, the wiki will go live, and there's a ton of information for you all. And unlike the SS1 wiki, this one is going to be more public. We'll allow you guys in the community to take it over. We had a problem with the SS1 wiki. We were using some really antiquated software, and it kept getting hacked by bots, so we had to cut off public access. Now we're using something a little more modern and robust, so hopefully we'll be able to bring in community members to help us keep that thing up to date and fleshed out. So that's going to come very soon. Another thing that's coming soon is my typical in-depth series of videos. I will be recording that. I will give you guys detailed information about all the different systems that are in Sim Settlements 2, and walking you through how to play those. And hopefully I will do a more scripted job than I have in the past with them. We will see. It's all depending on time. After the grind that was getting this mod out, I have to like ease up and hit the brakes and reduce my hours severely, because my poor family has been very gracious with me so far, and I need to get back to them. And then so in-depth videos are coming, and of course the Builder's Toolkit. The Builder's Toolkit is going to be the biggest toolkit we have ever released. There is an insane amount of stuff you can mod in Sim Settlements 2. I tried to make pretty much every system you can imagine moddable this time around, because I coded all of Sim Settlements 2 from scratch. There's very little code that was ported forward, and maybe little random scripts for like a item on top of a plot or whatever, but almost everything was recoded from scratch to eliminate a lot of the bugginess and speed issues of SS1, the stability issues, and also to add a ton of hooks for cool new stuff you can do. So those are all coming down the pipes. I couldn't give you a timeline for them. If it's up to me, all of this will be done in 2 weeks, but it's a lot of real life is going to come kick me in the head here when I start to do that. So I will get this stuff out to you guys as quickly as possible. Obviously, hotfix is #1 priority, followed by the wiki, and then the Builder's Toolkit. The in-depth videos, I think we did a really good job in-game of teaching you guys a lot of the mechanics, and because of the wiki, you guys will be able to get that information at least until I get a chance to make those videos. So those in-depth videos are going to come a little bit later than they normally would after one of my mod releases, but it's better than nothing. And like I said, we've got a really robust community. If you haven't engaged with it before on the forums, they are very, very happy to help out with you guys. For all the people who have joined on Patreon since we launched, or in the past few months, I 100% will be throwing you guys shout outs, but I want to do it in my normal video cycle, which will be coming back up soon, which is normal patches, actual where I script stuff out, even though I know it doesn't sound like it because I ramble so much, but where I actually script it out and have somewhat edited videos for you guys and all that. I'm hoping to bring all my old stuff back, so I want to get back to doing the Bethesda Mod School, my Let's Play, which obviously will start on SS2 soon, although I'm going to delay it because I need to wrap up my Children of Adam Let's Play. I've got 1 or 2 episodes left of that to record, and then that'll give you guys all time to actually play through this. I would also love to bring back my podcast if anyone out there in the modding community is willing to even chat with me, although I think really we have dozens of guests of people on the SS2 team who would love to talk about what they've been doing, because I had them locked up in secrecy working on this for literal years, not able to talk about it. So I'm sure a lot of them would love the chance to chat to you guys about what they've been working on and all the things that went into the mod. So lots of stuff coming down the pipes. But guys, thank you so much for all of the kind words and the support. And we have got a ton of stuff planned for Sim Settlements 2. So as you guys have seen, we've been pushing this episodic story content everywhere. This is much bigger than what we did for Conqueror, where we would push out a patch or two. These are going to be like major story chunks all at once, because I want to make sure everybody sees them, unlike the Conqueror storyline, where I think very few people made it to the end because we were just kind of dropping chunks of story in patches without much fanfare. And speaking of the Conqueror stuff, a lot of people have been asking about Conqueror. Conqueror will return for SS2, but it's going to kind of exist as a quest mod. Then it'll be an alternate storyline you can play through with Jammer and go the dark side. And we obviously left that as a cliffhanger. We do have our story arc planned for that, and it just has to go into production. So all of that will be coming later. Because our focus now is on SS2, and once you guys start getting into the SS2 storyline, you'll see very quickly that it would make no sense whatsoever to have had Conqueror available at launch anyway. So if you're a die-hard Conqueror player, you got to have it. Just going to want to stick with SS1 for a while until we get around to bringing the code from that into this, because we rewrote SS2 from scratch, we can't just port Conqueror over. It's not that simple. I have to rewrite all of the Conqueror systems to tap into the new code in SS1. So it's a big, big project. And I don't want to just do it lazily. I want to take advantage of all the new features in SS2, look for the new hooks for better gameplay for Conqueror. So it's a ways off. Expect it a long ways off, in fact. I'm not going to rush it because I want to do it right. But I think there were enough of you out there who weren't interested in the Conqueror style of gameplay anyway, especially from the Raider perspective. So I think the majority of you guys in the community are going to be ecstatic to play with this new stuff. There's so much new stuff for add-on pack authors to play with. As you guys have seen, a bunch of add-on pack authors already got to converting their stuff because we tapped them a few months back to start working on that in secret, and more are on the way. We'll also, obviously, with the Builder's Toolkit come out, we'll inspire hopefully a new a new batch of add-on authors to join the party and give us their new spin on content. And with all the new features in SS2, there's just so much more room to grow. I'm sure anybody who has poked around in the mod and the CK can see some of the potential for all the new stuff we're going to see from add-on pack authors. Very, very excited for that. So guys, thank you again for all your support, and take care and enjoy the new mod.